So Bisu's now going to be able to expand wherever he wants to, and Nada's really on the back foot. He's going to have to rebuild his forces. He's traded quite a lot of units with Bisu, and Bisu's actually left out on top, well out on top there. He's got plenty of zealots left, and Nada just transferring SCVs to his third base now, so he's on 3 bases. That's good. So is Bisu, but Bisu will be picking up a 4th very shortly. I like it how Nada's already got a vulture down the bottom left corner just to scout for that. Really expects that Bisu will go for that expansion right now. And yeah, time to add some factories. So we've got 4 already, adding the 5th one. I'm expecting him to just plonk down a couple more before long. Just cycling through Bisu's hotkeys, he's got 3 groups loaded up. He looks a bit shabby there with some of his zealot health, but you know, nothing you can do about that. And wow, Probe comes down to put down the Nexus before the Vulture takes it out. The Vulture does take it out, and Nada does realize that this is the point at which Bisu is going for that 4th base. Not a lot he can do about it, and that's the crucial thing, because Nada has some units, but not as many as Bisu at this point. It's going to take him a while to build it up, and Bisu can really get into position with his forces and really get the unit composition that he needs to counter Nada when Nada pushes out. So I think I prefer Bisu's position a little bit, but that will change over time as Nada gets upgrades kicking in. The Templar Archive's going now, so I think probably Arbiters would be a good way to go. Storm possibly, maybe some Storm drops would be nice. Yeah, and we've got a shuttle out, so good idea. Nada hasn't been building any Goliaths or anything like that, so the shuttles will be very useful for either harassment, maybe some storm drops, as I mentioned, and possibly Zealot bombs. I think Zealot bombs will be a must against a Goliathless Terran army. Starport going down, so looking to get ready for the +2 upgrades, the round of +2 coming through. Nada's got a full group of vultures, as you can see there, and another group, mixed group of tanks and vultures heading out. Looks like he's going to put down another little emplacement mid-map and really just start pushing out from there. This will allow him to actually get some more expansions of his own, so this is a decent play here by Nada. I'm liking it. It looks like Bisu's got that shuttle ready to go. He's maybe picking up some units. I'm not too sure what he's doing there, what his plan is with that shuttle, but we'll find out shortly. Cycling through the hotkeys again. I noticed that in these stages of the game where there's not too much action, what I'm seeing on the hotkeys when I'm watching a lot of replays and using this hotkey function is that the pro players tend to only use a couple of hotkeys for some of the units that they need to be mobile with, and just don't bother hotkeying reinforcements and units sitting around like sieged up tanks and stuff. That allows them to keep all the other hotkeys free for their factories or their gateways, and it's just a matter of just spamming macro that way and keeping it up really fast. And Bisu has taken an island expansion. He's loaded up his shuttle. That's what the shuttle was for. He's got 8 probes. Sorry guys, I missed that earlier. And in the meantime, Nada's actually taking more expansions down the bottom right of the map, so that's very strong for Terran if you can get a whole bunch of expansions like that. He's going to be able to go up to 5 bases shortly, and that's more than enough bases to just get straight up to 200 supply and start steamrolling some Protoss units. And Bisu is aware of this. Bisu wants to shut this down, and he is moving out to kill some mines, but he sees a lot of forces there for Nada, I think, and pulls out. Bisu's got a lot of observers just flying around the map, and his intelligence is quite good. And what I was saying earlier about intelligence being very important on this map, both players are fully aware of that. Nada's just mining around and running around with the vultures. Bisu's got his observers around. He's got quite a number of forces here. As you can see, he's hotkeyed up about 4 groups. Mixed groups. Some of them are pure zealots, some are pure dragoons, some are mixed, and it looks like he's ready to push out. So very large force there by Bisu. Ooh, yeah, this is going to do some damage if he rushes in, and Nada's not ready. But Nada is ready. He's got some mines down. He's got the vultures just getting prepared for this. I'm not sure where the tanks are. There's the tanks there. Wow, that's a big barricade of tanks. So man, Bisu's going to get shelled right now. Mines going off. Oh my god, Mines just crushing a bunch of dragoons there. Zealots streaming in, but there's heaps of vultures. Nada's in a really good position here to kill the Zealots, and they are going down. They're dropping like flies, and Bisu is forced to head down to the south. and he's not going to be able to get through that gap to take out Nada's expansions. Tanks are in the way. Vultures are blocking that little run-through gap, and those Dragoons are going to have to retreat. So very good defense there by Nada. He's really won that fight decisively. So Nada's going to be following this up now. He's pushing in with tanks and Vultures. We've just entered into a little bit of a choke there, and Bisu's still losing units. He's got more forces macroed up to reinforce, but Nada's just piling in. He's got heaps of tanks. This is a great position for Terran, but that shuttle's dropping a lot of zealots right now. So the shuttle just bombing in with zealots, and this is going to do some damage to the tanks. Bisu might be able to break this if he's lucky, but he's losing so many units. This has been a real trade-off, and he's managed to wither down Nada's forces quite significantly. And there's a, meanwhile, vessel being produced. First Arbiter out for Bisu, so he's got Arbiters now. Haven't seen any High Templars yet, but maybe he'll be following up with those. More forces coming in from Bisu, so I don't think this push is going to be able to carry through from Nada. Yeah, he's pulling back now. He realized that he doesn't have enough reinforcements to stop Bisu's reinforcements. And again, it's just a bit of a standoff, so I still got to hand it to Nada for getting that extra block of 3 more bases secured. So with Nada being on 6 bases compared to Bisu's 6, really got to hand it to Terran. Terran's going to have better upgrades shortly, and yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to camp around in the middle of the map and make sure there's no forces going through the middle. And it's going to be up to Bisu to try and get recalls happening. There he goes, upgrading recall right now. And if I was Nada, I'd be starting to think about where to put some turrets and really spend some minerals on turrets after I've got to maximum supply. Recall is going to really swing the game in favor of the Protoss in situations like this. It's really the only way for Protoss to win with these kinds of armies and this kind of map, I think, because you can't really demolish the Terran force to the middle. Oh, well, actually, it's not the only way to win. A couple of other options you have are really getting some fantastic storm blankets off on the Terran army, and the other one is just getting some massive stasis fields. So I think Nada will be wanting to prevent that by making sure he's got his vessels ready with EMPs. And as I said, I think some turrets would be in order. But massive force here mobilized by Nada. It looks like he's almost maxed. And wow, just pushing through this little choke point gap here. Right smack bang in the center of the map. Bisu sees this. He's got an observer overhead. Bisu does not want to attack right now. He's not going to be able to get his zealots past those vultures. And wow, he's going to get slammed. He's going to get totally face planted if that happens. So Bisu just wisely sticking back a little bit. He's hoping that Nada pushes forward a bit more. And wow, he's just getting trashed if he's going to do this. Tanks are just going to shell anything that gets in range. There's such a big block of them. Bisu's just taking out the units which are in front. Oh my god, Nada's actually rushing out with SCVs. He's hit max supply. He's got too many SCVs to mine with. He's got a big reserve of minerals. He's just throwing away SCVs now, and this is the perfect time for him to do it, just to distract the Protoss army even more while he moves in with his siege tanks. And fantastic play by Nada. This is great. You don't see this very often at all in big macro games. Do you only see, I'll say that again, only in big macro games do you see SCVs being wasted like that, just because you just don't need them anymore, which is very unusual. Right, Nada's in a position where he can come down and attack the bottom left, and that is indeed what he's doing, but Bisu's desperately macroing up forces, and he's relentlessly attacking. We've got very few vultures on the ground here, so those zealots are going to be able to overrun the tanks before long, but not before the tanks do a significant amount of damage on those Dragoons, just slamming them. So Bisu's going to lose a couple of expansions here. This is looking very good for Nada, because he's going to be able to rebuild his forces with the amount of bases and factories that he's got. Looking to the middle of the map, Nada's just, Bisu's knocking out some of Nada's reinforcements, so, but he should have some more coming. Alright, so looking at Bisu's bottom left, he's got more gateways there. I mean, that's good, but if he loses that, it's going to be a real setback. I don't think he is going to be losing that, though. I mean, Nada's not got too many forces left at the bottom left to really push up in the face of any more zealots. So Bisu's actually trying his luck down at the other expansion at the bottom right here to maybe trade, to get some revenge on the losses that he's just incurred. He's got a bunch of units, and Nada's forces are trying to catch up here. He's got a couple of a couple of science vessels. Yeah, so both of Bisu's expansions have been taken out. A lot of SCVs being pulled off, so massive number of SCVs just coming in to block units and start attacking. And this probably should be enough. This is actually pretty effective SCV defense. He's going to lose heaps of SCVs doing this, but it'll probably be worth it because he'll lose even more, and then some, if he doesn't get rid of that force quickly. So, yeah, fairly good defense there. Nada's got he's got a whole bunch of mineral patches being soaked up with SCVs. Just that bottom right at the moment. Maybe he'll be kicking himself now for wasting all those SCVs because he's short of SCVs right now. He's just lost a whole bunch. Yeah, I don't think he, in hindsight, he probably shouldn't have sent away those SCVs, but how could he have known that he was going to need them? I guess not. So, dropship headed out now with a couple of vultures and tank. Not sure where that's headed. We'll find out shortly. Looked like possibly there to that island expansion, so we'll see how that goes. Here we go. Ooh, narrowly avoiding some Dragoon fire, so got to be careful with that. Yep, here he is heading now, so he's just going to avoid the cannon.